Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to the third and final candle review of the day. And in this video, we are going to take a little journey through the Kringle Candle Halloween 2025 Boo Crew Scary Movie Night fragrance. If you missed the first two reviews that went live a little bit earlier throughout the day, I'll go ahead and list and link those in the description box below this video here. Feel free to check those reviews out if you are interested. There was one other Boo Crew fragrance that I reviewed earlier, as well as a fragrance from the Spellbound collection. So anyway, I'm sure you guys are aware by now when this launch is happening, but I'm just gonna say it in every single video because not every person is going to be interested in every fragrance, but the collection is launching on August 15th at noon Eastern time. So that means 9 a.m. Pacific time. You can use my discount code Melanie15 to save at least 15% off of the candles in this collection, or definitely apply your rewards if you have any available. The Boo Crew is definitely my favorite Halloween collection this year, so I've been really excited to share these post-burn reviews. This is another one of those fragrances in this particular collection that I would like to get a backup of. Speaking of, if you are not aware, there was a change made to the Boo Crew collection. Originally, you could only do two candles per fragrance, so they were limiting each fragrance. They have since decided to go down to one label per purchase, essentially. So you can get one of each of the fragrances. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie. I was personally planning on ordering probably at least two of each of, well, except for the Bobbing for Apples. That one's a skip for me. If you missed that review, I'll link that one down below as well. But honestly, for the rest of the fragrances in the Boo Crew collection, I was planning on getting two of each, but I'll have to now scale that back to one of each because that will be the limit. That's okay. It is going to allow more people to be able to access these particular candles. So anyway, for what it's worth, sorry if that's bad news for you. It was definitely some bummer news for me, but I do respect them for doing that. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this absolutely delicious, authentic, buttery, sweet fragrance. Before we get into the actual fragrance review of Scary Movie Night, just a brief moment for the label here. So we've got just a group of really adorable little kittens in costumes sitting in front of a television with a giant bowl of popcorn. It's really cute. I love it. I am someone who does appreciate more of the cute side of Halloween versus the scary and gory. I can appreciate the scary and gory, but yeah, when it comes to just my particular Halloween style, it leans a little bit more towards this. So personally, I'm loving the labels on this collection this year. So let's go ahead and zoom out and let's discuss the fragrance itself. This is such an authentic gourmand, and I think a lot of people are really gonna enjoy this one. Okay, the top notes are buttery popcorn, savory salt, and toasty corn kernels. For the mid notes, we have sweet corn and velvety dairy cream. At the base, we have caramelized wood, warm musk, and golden sugar resin. So, what does this smell like? Okay, this is a really interesting combination of two different types of popcorn to my nose. So first, I do get the more traditional, rich, buttery, salty, regular popcorn, if you will. But I also smell some kettle corn mixed in here for sure. So you've got that sweet popcorn and you've got that salty popcorn. I do think that the more traditional salty popcorn is probably 60% of the fragrance, with the kettle corn maybe being about 30% of the fragrance. And then we've got those other notes that are kind of floating around here. So yeah, I really feel like that is the balance here. So very much a true gourmand, a little bit more buttery and salty than sweet and like decadent, like that like sweet, and I guess kettle corn is salty at the same time as well. So that's sweet and salty from the kettle corn, that really nice, yummy, rich flavor that you get from kettle corn, and then that rich, buttery, salty flavor that you get with traditional popcorn. Now, in terms of the other notes that are mentioned here, we've got the velvety Dairy Queen, we're not talking about Dairy Queen. Velvety dairy cream. There we go. There is a little bit of what I would actually call like a vanilla cream running throughout this. It's very, very subtle, but it is there. So there is a little bit of a creamy aspect to this one. The caramelized wood is kind of an interesting one because I don't really necessarily get a caramelized wood, but I do get like a caramelized sugar note from this. So, which I think would probably be that golden sugar resin. Actually, that is the last note that I mentioned there. So yeah, nothing woody about this fragrance to my nose, just more of a caramelized sugar note than anything else. And then the warm musk. I think the musk in this particular fragrance is just playing a supporting role. I don't think this fragrance smells musky at all, but I do think it smells very warm. It smells very rich. It smells very authentic. I think some people were hoping for more of a pure kettle corn. This definitely has that like salty, buttery popcorn that is a little bit more prevalent than the kettle corn portion, but you do smell both in here. At least I do. The kettle corn, I think, is very reminiscent of the kettle corn that we got in the Country Candle line a few years ago. Listen, this is a great scent. I think this is delicious. It really does smell like you are popping popcorn and like you're eating some regular popcorn and some kettle corn, you know, on a cold, cozy evening. So yeah, I love this fragrance. I think it's really well done. I love the label, and I really appreciate the strength and throw here, because the strength and throw of this one is solid, you guys. This one's quite potent. I would put the strength of this at almost an 8. It's really strong. This one throws really well as well, so that's one that tends to travel quite a ways. So I'm gonna give the throw just about an 8 as well on this one. It's a great performer. I have no problems with that at all. The wicks are definitely wicks that are going to form some mushroom tops. So you're gonna wanna trim these wicks. If you are newer to Kringle Candle, if this is the first order that you're ever placing, when you get your candles, the wicks are gonna look really long. Don't trim those wicks prior to the first burn. Just light them up. They will self-regulate, if you will, and go down to the level that they're supposed to be at. And then you just need to trim on subsequent burns. So really easy candle maintenance with the Kringle soy formulation. This is one of the reasons that I really appreciate these soy candles, is that there's not a lot of fussing that I have to do. And yeah, that's honestly really a nice thing. So you're gonna get some mushroom tops or some carbon balls at the top with this particular fragrance, so you're gonna wanna do that trimming prior to each subsequent burn. But for the most part, that's all that you're gonna have to do for this one. So let's take a look at the overhead shot here so that you can see what we're working with. By the way, each of these candles have been burned at this point, actually about 10 to 12 hours for most of them. This one definitely has been at burning at least 12 hours. I've had this one lit multiple times. It's just a really yummy one. Sorry that I don't know. Sometimes the camera does a really good job of focusing and other times it doesn't, but there, you can see those are nice, tall, strong flames. I really like these particular wicks. They are certainly leading to a really good strengthen through here, and I'm a fan of that. This is very easily a fragrance that scents up most of the downstairs, and it's kind of fun to find different things to pair with this one. So anyway, it's a winner for me. I think a lot of you guys are gonna love it. I hope that this review was helpful. Check out the other reviews that went up a little bit earlier in the description box if you missed them. If you are new, please subscribe. There are many more candle reviews coming down the pipeline here. So yeah. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I appreciate you guys being here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.